Could mind control, and in particular wireless frequencies, be used to create a puppet-like killer? What could drive your everyday person to kill? Potentially a voice inside your head posing as God. We know, after all, that weapons that can beam voices into the mind wirelessly exist and are unironically called voice of God weapons. Wired has published several articles on voice-to-skull technology, also reporting the U.S. Army pulled down the site detailing the capabilities of these weapons. There have been many mass murders where the perpetrators have said they heard voices. Of course, these killers are written off as schizophrenic. But what if there's more to it? In 2003, in a small Texas town, Deanna Laney, a deeply religious mother, tragically took the lives of 2 of her young sons and gravely injured another, believing she was following the voice of God. In Canada in 2008, Will Baker, a man tormented by insistent voices in his head that he believed were divine commands, tragically ended the life of a fellow bus passenger in a brutal attack. Baker later claimed that his voices had told him he was the 3rd chapter of the Bible, and he was to guard Earth against an alien attack. In the secure confines of the Washington Navy Yard in southeast Washington, D.C., troubled IT contractor Aaron Alexis, tormented by insidious voices he believed were emanating from extremely low-frequency government mind control devices, tragically ended the lives of 12 innocent civilians and wounded 3 others in a chaotic rampage, before being fatally shot by responding police.
The Navy Yard shooting, the warning signs were there. ABC News has learned that shooter Aaron Alexis was kicked out of Navy housing just weeks before his rampage because he was raving about voices in his head.
Law enforcement sources tell ABC News Aaron Alexis abruptly left a Newport, Rhode Island Navy barracks after constantly complaining that noises were coming out of his linen closet. During roughly the same time frame, Newport Naval Station police were warned by local authorities that Alexis was hearing voices and feared he was under constant surveillance by shadowy figures.
As disclosed by the FBI at the time, Alexis had engraved my ELF weapon on his gun, and they had retrieved writings where Alexis said an ultra-low frequency attack is what I have been subjected to for the past 3 months. And to be honest, it is what's driven me to this. In the town of Colchester in England, troubled teenager James Fairweather, haunted by commanding voices, tragically ended the lives of 2 vulnerable strangers in brutal stabbings in March and June 2014. He told police his voices were demanding a human sacrifice and were laughing as he was carrying out the 2 murders.
And I saw him. It was laying on the grass. Like that. It was like, just fast asleep, was where he was drunk. Went up to him. Stood over like that. Like that. So him first there. And I'd done it a few times. While I was doing that, my voices were laughing and laughing and laughing louder and louder. So my voices were talking to me. You need to make a sacrifice or we're going to come and get you. You need to do it.
In January 2017, at an airport in Florida, troubled Iraq War veteran Esteban Santiago, tormented by relentless voices in his head urging him to commit acts of violence, tragically ended the lives of 5 innocent travelers and wounded 6 others in a sudden rampage. Santiago had visited the local FBI to report that his mind was being controlled by a U.S. intelligence agency and that the CIA had been making him watch ISIS videos, presumably in his head. In Maine in 2023, troubled Army reservist Robert Card, tormented by relentless voices mocking and ridiculing him, tragically ended the lives of 18 innocent people and wounded 13 others in devastating attacks on a bowling alley and a bar, before taking his own life 2 days later.
Federal police are still on a manhunt for the man accused of shooting and killing 18 people at a Maine bowling alley and bar on Wednesday night. A sister-in-law to the suspect, 40-year-old Robert Card, confirmed to the Wall Street Journal that he received 2 weeks of inpatient psychiatric treatment over this past summer as he was hearing voices. She said he started believing he could hear people say awful things about him.
More recently, 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown Jr. murdered Ukrainian refugee Irina Zarutska on a subway in North Carolina. While there are no mentions of him hearing voices, he spoke to his sister after the murder, where he claimed the government had put materials in his body.
So you said something in your body did what?
Nah, the material, put it like this, the material using my body to stab the lady.